Oh, look who's back after 2 months. Ah, you're still here. What? Nothing. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm playing Dragon Drive. It's really tough, but fun. The only thing is they kinda expect you to use motion controls to roll and shoot the basketball at the same time. It's really tough and impractical.
So's probably having to play basketball in a wheelchair.
You know you're right. Damn it.
Ah, shucks. Oh, get up.
What? Why?
Because I gotta talk about Donkey Kong Bananza.
Dude, that game came out like 2 months ago. You're kinda late to the party.
Yeah, I gave up trying to release videos as fast as possible. I still want to talk about it. Let me guess. You didn't like it. What gave it away?
It's popular, people are glazing it, so it's automatic for you to hate it. New God of War, Tears of the Kingdom, Doom to Dark Ages.
At this point, I don't think I like video games anymore.
So tell me, why is an ape hurting your feelings?
Donkey Kong Country was the greatest 2D platformer of the 90s. It was better than Mario World and better than Sonic 2. There, I said it, let's move on. Such an incredible classic game and a staple in my childhood. I assure you, one day this cartridge will be inked on my skin. Donkey Kong Country got 2 more sequels on the Super Nintendo and both were phenomenal releases too. 2 more so than 3. But then Donkey Kong had a bit of an awkward transition to 3D. DK64 is fascinating. It's so polarizing. If you look up the game on YouTube, you'll find half the videos criticizing it to hell and half the videos defending it. How do I feel about it? I think it's a fine playthrough, but a fine one-time playthrough. It's a collectathon to an extreme degree. If you haven't played it yet, drop hundreds of puzzle pieces on the floor and pick them up one by one while listening to the DK rap and you've experienced DK64. The GameCube generation was also weird as all the DK action we got came via the DK bongos. But it was Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii that made Donkey Kong a household name again. What a phenomenal return to form, and the undisputed best 2D platformer on the Wii. From the gameplay to the level design, it's all fantastic.
Are you ever gonna get to the point? Yes.
Donkey Kong Country Returns got a sequel on the Wii U that got brought over to the Switch as part of the Wii U classic games that endlessly got ported over. And it was great too! Didn't make as much of an impact as Returns, but it's still an incredible playthrough nonetheless. I remember loving it so much when I played it back in 2021 and was excited when I looked online and saw that the Switch was expecting another Donkey Kong Country game. I just didn't know that meant that we were just gonna get an HD version of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Are you kidding me, you sons of bitches?
So you're upset you didn't get another Donkey Kong Country? In a way. I'm just upset that instead of a 2D platformer, Bananza is just another open world /zone /relationship. And Donkey Kong, who's made some of the most elite 2D platformers of all time, is now just joining this homogenous blob of a gaming scene. So it's the usual problem that you have.
Well, don't minimize it. How about Dragon Drive? That's not an open world.
Yeah, I don't want to play Dragon Drive either. I refuse to support digital-only games, and it's multiplayer too. Gosh, you're such an old man. Get with the times.
Ooh, back in my day, we had to blow on our games to get them to work.
Ah, ahoy! Donkey Kong Bananza. Meh.
So what's the story of Donkey Kong Bananza? Well, what usually is the story with a Donkey Kong game? Banana theft. DK is mining these banana gems until some other ape named Void Kong flies in, steals the bananas, and sinks DK Island. From there, it is a race to the core of the planet as Void Kong is up to something mean and we gotta stop him. Also, a young Pauline is our companion after she is birthed from a rock, which I'm not gonna question. I grew up with Daisy being birthed from an egg. She hangs on to DK and uses her power of singing to help assist us on our journey. Pauline is fully voice acted, which is great, but she is the only character in the game to have voiceovers as everyone else is the standard grunting /sound effect that Nintendo's been doing for ages. Which makes some cutscenes in the game kind of funky as you have a voice acted character speaking to a grunting character.
I just feel so stuck in life, you know? Always wondering if I'm just too comfortable to make actual personal progress.
But anyway, I like Pauline. Having her be DK's companion feels like a beautiful full circle moment that she was the kidnapped princess in the original arcade game.
Wait, wasn't that supposed to be DK's dad? And that an adult Pauline? Then how is she a child here with DK? Is she aging backwards like that Brad Pitt movie? Or was she a child in the original arcade game and Mario was throwing hearts at a child? Oh god, is Mario on that list?
Pauline is great in the game, she adds charm, and her little arc of her gaining confidence in her singing was kinda cute. Every time she says teleport as teleport, I get a giggle out of it. So as I said, DK Bananza has us in a journey to the center of the earth. Love that movie growing up. I wonder if it still holds up. As we dig deeper, we hit different layers, and these layers act as our open zones where we get to roam around, knock out objectives, and find collectibles until it's time to move on to the next layer. These layers are all different types of biomes, like tropical, forestry, tundra, canyon, etc. Which, don't get me wrong, I like the different types of environments to explore, and I'm glad it just isn't all underground caves but in different colors. But at the same time, how the hell is there a beach down here? How the hell is it raining? How the hell is there a sky? I personally never dug to the center of the earth. The deepest I've ever dug was into my own self-pity, but I can comfortably say thousands of feet deep beneath my feet there isn't a giant f***ing watermelon. What's the alternative? Looking at this for 8 hours?
Then again, I do like Tomb Raider.
So when exploring these layers, we collect banana gems and other types of collectibles like fossils, banana chips, eviction notices, treasure chests, and just straight up gold. So once again, Donkey Kong is a collectathon.
Maybe we should start calling it Collect-a-Kong.
It gives you a ton of stuff to look around for, and that's what the game mostly has us doing. As you make your way to the objective of that particular layer, you snag whatever the hell is lying around. The big shtick with DK Bananza is the ability to Hulk smash your way across the terrain. You can destroy most of whatever's in front of you, and Bananza makes it efficient. 3 of the buttons we have to work with are different directions we can smash, whether it's punching upward, forward, downward, or yourself. We also have a grab button where we can rip a huge chunk of the ground and use it to break even more ground. People were excited about this when they saw it in the trailers. I was skeptical. I thought it was gonna be very gimmicky, and god damn it, it does feel like it sometimes. So the point of digging around is to look for valuables, secrets, and finding alternate routes. And to a degree that is what it is. You oftentimes will see a treasure in the distance and just punch your way to it. But other times you're just kinda punching your way around and just collecting whatever RNG items emerge. See, it was kinda disappointing because the way the game came off was that there would be these neat underground areas to explore and uncover. Maybe like a tunnel system or cavern or temple or something. But nah, 99% of the time when digging, you're just punching dirt, collecting the gold that squirts out at you, and then you just keep digging until you get tired and just dig yourself out of the tunnel you built. My realization of this hit when I reached the second layer the game has to offer, and it was just this open plain that didn't have much going on. When I first saw it, I was like, damn, this is a boring looking zone. But wait, the game has a digging shtick, so there must be an awesome underground cavern or something to explore. Nope, not a goddamn thing. Just more dirt punching for some goddamn RNG gold. Not to completely dismiss the destructible environment aspect of the game, whenever the game puts you into these puzzle areas, it's actually really great and utilizes Donkey Kong's abilities really well. But in the open areas of the game, it kind of feels a bit trivial. Maybe it could have worked if instead of an open world-like game, they made short yet intricately designed levels that maximizes this gimmick's potential.
Overworlds are killing gaming. That's a hill I'll die on.
But now, how is the actual open world exploration of Donkey Kong Bananza?
Take a guess.
I'm not crazy about it. You know, when I heard that the same team who made Super Mario Odyssey were making Donkey Kong Bananza, I was excited. But I didn't think that meant that the team that made Super Mario Odyssey were just making Super Mario Odyssey again, but with an ape. Banana gems are lying all over the place, and you find them either by completing objectives, stumbling onto them, solving a puzzle, knocking out a challenge, or buying it from a shop. All of which is the same thing that you pretty much did in Mario Odyssey when searching for moons. Though at least this time, I didn't have to jump rope. Oh, and as you progress through the game and knock out main objectives, you get multi-bananas. It just feels like the same thing. They are even similarly shaped. On a positive note, I do like the sound bite that plays when you get a banana gem. It's contributed to my brain rot, so now anytime I go to a store, I can't help myself from thinking, ooh, banana. But you see, what are the differences? Well, the purpose is actually different. In Mario Odyssey, we collect the moons to power the Odyssey so we can move on to the next area. In Bananza, we collect bananas so that we can level up and purchase skills from a skill tree. And that's it. You don't need the bananas to make progress. You can kind of just beeline to where the game tells you to go. And that's just weird. The skill tree is honestly pretty pointless outside of maybe leveling up your hearts and 2 things here or there, but the rest of the stuff on the skill tree is so unnecessary, which takes away the motivation to want to explore and find and collect these things, which destroys the foundation of what the game is trying to be. Imagine that, a collectathon where you don't need to collect the collectibles to make progress?
What makes it even more bizarre... I'm not saying that. What makes it a bit more bananas is the fact that the game has a whole ton of collectibles. And the game could have made things work had it just reorganized their respective purposes.
We have these banana chips that are used to buy banana gems at shops, but you still have to pay a fee of gold during the transaction.
Goddamn taxes.
So why not have the chips be towards skill trees and just make buying banana gems be just the gold? Have the banana gems required for making progress, have the banana chips be towards leveling up, and have gold just be used for shops. Speaking of shops, remember purple coins? Well, those are now fossils, and we use these fossils to purchase outfits for DK and Pauline. Like in Mario Odyssey. This time though, the game tries to make it more useful by saying some outfits add certain features like taking less damage in certain instances. Now, not only does that make me angry for other fundamental reasons, but it's also f***ing pointless! At no point when taking damage in freezing or poisonous water did I feel the need for pants! And you never will! Also, the game doesn't have a lot of options with costumes. You only get choices in ties, pants, and dye for his fur. No hats, no shirts. Why? It might be because the game tried to have each costume have some kind of purpose and they couldn't think of enough upgrades to justify more costumes.
I hate RPGs.
And you know what else? You can even upgrade these clothing items. Something I never did because I didn't even need whatever skill the costumes gave me in the first place. I just picked these pants because I think they made DK's ass look good. But the thing that really gets to me is that the game has rarer fossils and even a singular ultra rare fossil in each layer, which is the hardest thing to find. And all that's for is to upgrade a fucking tie? Are you fucking kidding me? I found a dinosaur fossil in my backyard. Look at this sick f***ing shirt. The game throws so many collectibles at you and they're also f***ing pointless. The fossils buy you costumes and skins, which hey, is cute for the aesthetic alone, but once you find one that you really like, why bother looking for others? The rarer fossils upgrade your costumes, which is so useless and inconsequential. The banana chips are used to buy banana gems, which is pointless because the banana gems are just for skill points and most of the skills are f***ing useless. And you don't need banana gems to make progress. That's my problem with Donkey Kong Bananza. What's my motivation here? Why should I do all these things if there really is no point to it? I realized that when I was in the 8th layer, got tired of looking around for doohickeys that will have no benefit, and I just said screw this and stopped looking for everything and didn't even bother exploring. I just started beelining for the objective. I still found myself grabbing stuff if it was nearby, which makes me wonder if Nintendo is banking on people's OCD to need to collect items because it'll bother them if they don't. Donkey Kong has the ability to transform into different animals, because who needs animal buddies when you can be your own buddy? I enjoy the sequences when we transform, but in general, usage of these are just context sensitive. The whole point of the zebra is so that we can run on certain platforms that we can't in base form, and that's it. Really, after you leave a layer, you get a transformation, and you'll probably only use that transformation again like twice, and one of those because you accidentally held both shoulder buttons. So we have context-sensitive transformations, a bunch of useless collectibles, costumes with perks that are unnecessary, a digging mechanic that's honestly mindless at times, and it just feels like everything about Donkey Kong Bananza is just not fully thought out. Which is why I think they're f***ing lying when they tell us they've been working on it since Mario Odyssey's release.
But besides that, do I have anything nice to say?
The music is awesome, Donkey Kong's controls are really nice and responsive, people online make comments about performance and frame rate, but I didn't have any issues.
That's it.
Well, the game looks good, the layers weren't too interesting to explore, they just don't have that
Hook to them, you know?
Odyssey had so many awesome moments tucked away that made exploration rewarding. I will always remember falling down a pit thinking I was gonna die, but then suddenly landing in a dark forest being hunted by a T-Rex. Or the absolute random moment in New Donk City where I'm riding a scooter and I'm suddenly being chased by a T-Rex.
Maybe that's what the problem with Bananza is. There wasn't a T-Rex in the game. Oh wait, never mind, there it is! It's just dead! Like my enthusiasm for Donkey Kong.
With Bananza, there isn't any rewarding exploration going on. It was just you rummaging through dirt until you found a banana gem. The boss battles kinda stunk. They weren't bad, but they were over faster than I was expecting them to be. You very well might sneeze on the controller and end up beating them. The truly best parts of Donkey Kong Bananza are whenever you enter these challenge areas that give you some platforming levels with 3 banana gems to find them, and
These are amazing!
they are fun! They utilize the new skills DK has perfectly. The animal transformations feel fleshed out here. They even had a couple of homages to classic Donkey Kong games sprinkled in, which was a nice touch. This is where the game shines! If the game was just throwing these types of levels at us, but you know, longer and more game length of course, then DK Bananza would have been sensational! Like maybe a Mario 3D World style of game that throws obstacle course levels at you, but with the DK Bananza gameplay. That would have been great!
Yeah, I don't like Donkey Kong Bananza. I think this current gaming philosophy of needing a big open world is getting f***ing exhausting. Mario Kart World's open world was a drag, Doom the Dark Ages having open areas was boring, and Donkey Kong Bananza's open zones are hollow. It just feels like they were hoping that the fact that we can destroy everything around us would distract us from the fact that it doesn't nearly have half of what Odyssey offered. It's not bad, it's just not much.
Donkey Kong Bananza is disappointing, and I hate feeling this way. I was looking forward to this being my first big adventure on the Switch 2, and I even got it day 1! That's how excited I was for it. But after the first 2 days, something was off. I just wasn't feeling it. I had times went days without playing it for one reason or another, and I wasn't really itching to jump back into it. Really only doing it cause I might as well, nothing else on the Switch 2.
Drag and drive! I'm not playing that.
But when I played Mario Odyssey, you couldn't pry me off the Switch. The house could have been on fire and I wouldn't have noticed because I was too busy playing volleyball. It's genuinely so frustrating how Bananza feels a bit directionless and thrown together with its ideas. I think it has good concepts, just an execution equivalent of trying to put the square piece in the triangle hole.
Take the clothing items for example, which I know I'm harping over, but it feels like they thought it'd be cool to give each costume a purpose. But when they couldn't think of too many actual useful implications of it, instead of scrapping it, they just kept it. Instead of, doing what Mario Odyssey did and just give us a metric ton of different options to mess around and have fun with. Or how about this example, the extra rare fossils? How about instead of making them be used to upgrade Donkey Kong's Jort, make collecting all of them be a requirement to access this really big cool door that has a Champions Road-esque level behind it. See, that would motivate me to find these goddamn things. That's just how the game feels to me. It just feels like a bunch of underdeveloped ideas without anyone asking why. And you know what the worst part is? It's universally acclaimed. People love this thing. Online critics are raving about it, calling it a smashing hit. They probably wrote that line before they even played the game. I wonder what lines they didn't go with. This game is just bananas. We're about to go ape shit. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Donkey Kong Bananza. I don't dislike it. It's a well-functioning game. It's playable. But I don't ever intend to 100% it. Because, what's the point? For pants?
So what now? You're obviously not gonna keep playing Donkey Kong.
Gosh, I don't know. Did Kirby Air Riders come out yet? Kirby Air Riders? Really? Damn it. Well, I guess I have no other choice. You know what? You're right. This is not that bad. That's a good arm workout. Told ya.